What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lean in, bitch. We are back on the lean for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. As you can see, Jamie is back, child. I have to bring my friend back because we've been talking about this show from the beginning. So it's only right that we continue it and finish it. What's going on, Jamie?
How are you? It's good to see you. It's been, I think the last time we did this was probably what, mid-December,
Yeah,
I want to say.
right for the holidays. It was like episode
Yeah,
6 or 7. It was the last one up,
I
so
think so.
mm-hmm.
I
So I
think
got my
so, yeah. And
robes,
then
yeah.
you're a hard man to tie down,
Uh,
booked and busy.
I'm only tied down for one man, but that's not what we're here for.
There we
Talking
go.
about.
And you had your anniversary
I
recently, right? I
did.
think back in December, right?
No, it
Happy
was
anniversary.
it was January 7th. It was this month.
January. Okay. So yeah, then I
Hmm.
talked, the last time we talked was a couple weeks before that. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't want to be like G and Child. I don't need to be lashing out because my man ain't here. So okay, so the show. So in this episode, we skipped over a lot of episodes, but basically how we got here
Yes.
was because of Jen's party. And since we didn't recap the episode, just what are your thoughts on Whitney, the delivery, and then the whole situation? Because I want to hear your opinion, and then I'll give mine, and then we can get into this episode because that's honestly what's going on in this episode.
So I can't really fault Wendy. You and I have watched these shows, or
Whitney.
Whitney. You and I have watched these shows long enough to know that the producers
Yeah,
literally tell these women don't bring up anything until the cameras are rolling.
right.
So, like, where else? Where was she supposed to bring it up? I do think Whitney was entirely too drunk to have
Oh
a
yes.
coherent conversation.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Heather was being a little bit messy, but prodding her to do it. But at the same time, like all she was saying, I think it was less about Lisa and Meredith and more about, hey, Mary is saying that your friends apparently or have some sort of beef with you. So
Mm-hmm.
either you need to address that with Mary
Mm-hmm.
or you need to address that with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Jen Jen was looking for a moment to blow up. All night. She wanted to blow up. She took that thing and then here comes Lisa in hot. Nobody speaks for me. I didn't do that. I never said that. Like, girl, it's gonna be okay.
I like
Like,
that moment because
this is everybody's
Lisa
drunk.
Lisa was like, "I'm not scared. I'm not scared of you." Like, no way, I'm not scared of you. I actually have grown to like Lisa a lot. Not a lot, but
Yeah.
I've grown to enjoy her and appreciate her place on the cast. And so, but honestly, if somebody's next to me telling me, "Oh, I'm not scared of you," I'll be like, "What you mean you ain't scared of me?" That's just me. But I
Well,
like that
but
she stood up
also
and was
Jen
like,
knows who to fuck with.
"That's true."
Jen knows who to try. She knows not to
Exactly.
try Lisa.
Right. But I don't know if Lisa is very rowdy, rah either. I think she can definitely do what needs to be done, but she's still not a very confrontational person. She's just very blunt, and she's very forthcoming about
Yeah.
how she feels. So, in that moment, I was glad. But do you really feel like Whitney had the best interest or the best intention by letting her know in general? Because Whitney was basically
So
saying like, I'm trying to be a good friend. I'm trying to let her know that there are people that are not being great friends behind your back. So do you feel like she really had her best intention, or like what do you feel?
So I think that Whitney is the kind of person that wants everything out there and everything talked about. She's very much Sheree with the,
Mm-hmm.
well, if you're going to say something behind somebody's back, let's get it all out there because all of these whispering things are causing more people to argue. Maybe a little bit of shade, but I like so far Whitney's energy is so, it almost just seems very pure that
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think that she went into that with a messy, like, intent to start mess. What
Mm-hmm.
I think probably the conversation went was that they were talking about the last time that Jen blew up. And I really honestly think that Meredith or Lisa both maybe said something to Mary along the lines of, when she gets like that, I'm scared of her. Like, I don't know how she's going to react. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she kind of flies off the handle. And I think Mary took that and presented that to Whitney as, these women are scared of Jen,
No, I
which
think I
I don't
think
know.
that's exactly what she was
Whitney
saying.
was drunk,
She was very drunk. She's very drunk.
very
She even
drunk.
said she had looked, and it was hilarious in that scene when she was talking. She was like crying at the end, like it was. I was just like, oh my god, like I was hollering actually. The fact that she was so drunk, and then she went into this whole like I don't know what I like. her intentions, I think they were pure. I just think that production, between production and just the TV show in general, like she had to do what needed to be done. Obviously, it got them to this point. But I hate that she did that because, in a sense, because it also now she's at odds. Not with just Jen, but Lisa already didn't like her, and now she's more at that
Yeah.
point. And I'm surprised that Mary didn't take it as like a way either. She is, I guess Mary, she don't really care. She was like, yeah, they
Mary
were
don't give a
saying
shit.
that. So we don't really know. We didn't see a scene where it was said, and like I said, it wasn't that she said she was scared of them. It's just that they maybe have had more of a backbone behind her back than in front of her face. I think that's what she
Yeah.
was trying to say. So okay,
Yeah.
so we fast forward to this episode here. They've had all type of talks about it. Whitney has apparently, her and Jen have had a conversation in bathtubs, child,
Yeah.
and she's apologized. But we'll wait. So this is where we are now. So in this episode, Heather, Jen has made it very clear.
Hmm.
Heather has made it clear, I believe, that she is worried that Jen is so worried about being friends with Lisa and Meredith that she may not be friends with Heather. So in this episode, she sets
Yeah.
Heather up on a blind date, and like the blind date, I was like, okay, this guy, I don't think she would be his type or vice versa, but I like that what she was trying to do. What did you think about the blind
Yeah.
date? How she reacted to the blind date and how the date just overall, how did it go?
I think Heather is looking for fun. Like
Yes.
Heather, just watching her growth. Like, I mean, episode 1 or 2, she's crying about being divorced and
Mm-hmm.
crying about not being a good Mormon, and
Mm-hmm.
here we are, 6 episodes later, and she's dating, and
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of seeing her grow
Mm-hmm.
in front of our eyes, and just ready to be single and have fun and take ownership of her life again. And I really like that for her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like this guy, the impression I got was like he's very established, he's
Mm-hmm.
very this, and I mean, he wasn't drinking. He may be a little bit, what's the word? Like not necessarily too responsible, but he may be ready for something serious.
Mm-hmm.
And Whitney, or excuse me, Heather, I don't think she's in that spot. She's playing the field. She's flirting. She likes to flirt. She was really polite. She complimented him on the hat. She, was energy was great. I don't think that she was into it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sure she appreciated it. I mean, Whitney doesn't need to get set up on dates. We've seen her before flirt with people like anybody that she thinks is attractive. So the sister does really good on her own.
But I think with this, I think like you said, she's just kind of exploring the options. She's just having fun. I think she would probably want to settle down. I think that, but it's gonna have to be along the guidelines of Mormon. And I don't think if this person does not have some, like she is obviously like a fun girl. She's like a rebel slightly to it, but she's gonna have to have some type of Mormon connection with her partner. I think it's
Yeah.
not gonna work out. Then she probably won't be. It probably won't be under the same means of her previous marriage. For example, like she probably will actually want to love this man and be with this man out for herself and include the Mormon lifestyle with it. But I don't think that. I think there's gonna have to be a connection with it. And this guy was he Mormon? I don't even know. What was he? Was he anything? No.
I don't think so. He was Coach Shaw's best friend, so I
All right.
imagine they would share some like similar religious. I
Child,
mean, we haven't really discussed his religion as
that
much. I
man
don't know
flew
how
from
devout he
Atlanta.
is or
He's probably
whatever, but
Baptist or something. He said, hey, Coach Shaw said, hey, come down and meet my wife's homegirl. Okay, come down here and film this scene. He came from Atlanta, probably in Macon, Georgia.
very. He was nice, and
He
I'm
was.
I do agree with you. I think that Heather now is taking a look, and she even said in her confessional something along the lines of he was a nice guy, but just not for me, not really my type.
Hmm.
And I think that that's what she's looking for. She is looking for that connection, and I want her to find it. Like she deserves
Yeah.
it. She's just a really good spirit, and I want
Yeah.
her to meet somebody that like
Hmm.
she feels something for. It's not like arranged, or it's not like a duty to be married to somebody.
Right. I agree. So nothing comes from the date. So the next thing is they're going to Vegas, and some girls
Vegas.
trip or whatever. So we see, Whitney. I guess Whitney kind of like calling individuals. She calls Lisa, and when she calls Lisa, she's like asking, her, wait, did she? Wait, she didn't pick up the phone. Or
No, well, she called Lisa, and Lisa responded and was very like really off put, and I think she said something along the lines of, "Oh, I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about it and call you back."
oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
everybody else, and Meredith, at least Meredith was like, "Vegas isn't really my scene, but yeah, I'll go with you guys." Like, because Meredith, she's so amiable and is just like, "Sure,
Lisa is
I'll
over.
I'll
Lisa
be a
is
girl's
over
girl."
Whitney. She's been over her since she said that the people from her
She told
business
her that her employees broke her glasses,
broke her glasses, and drank her Casamigos.
drank her liquor, broke her glasses.
So I that's why that's the only reason I hate that Whitney did that. Honestly, because it's like she's just she's still that girl in my opinion. Like you said on Facebook, she's a doll. She is definitely, I liked her since episode 1 just because her energy. She's just I like fun energy. She's still a lot of fun. And some type of innocence and some type of mess and shade is also composing her character. But they go to Vegas, and when they get to Vegas, Lisa actually goes, but she says she's there for business, and Lisa and everyone, not Lisa, Whitney,
Coincidentally.
right, Chad. Look, it's all type of tequila in Vegas, Chad. So I don't know, I'm curious to know what business, but they're there, they're having a good time, and I thought this scene was hilarious when they went to the little driving, the speed driving like racing course. And Lisa's talking about, oh y'all, who doesn't love a fast
All
car? Who
that
doesn't love a fast
mess.
car? And she is going slow as hell. Everybody else is moving. She is going slow. I mean, they literally put the miles per hour on the damn screen, and she was going like 90 or what? She going like was it 70? No, 70. She was going 70. You can go down there on the
A
interstate,
regular car.
a regular car. Um, but on the way there, it was funny because it was kind of awkward. Like I remember, I think it was like a
Oh yeah.
small moment where she like looked at them. She was like, hmm. She looked at Mary. She's like, hmm.
Yeah. It was dead silence. My thing is, I felt like I felt so bad because like you can see Whitney is genuinely like she's nervous but she's excited. She's like, I'm gonna talk to these women and I'm gonna
Yeah.
apologize
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna like I think the thing that I love about Whitney is she's just constantly like so optimistic
Mm-hmm.
about stuff. And like
Yeah.
there's that shot of her standing outside the hotel with like her purse and she's just like waiting, smiling, waiting for the car to pull up and they come up behind her. She's like, oh, hi, and goes in for a hug. And Lisa kind of is like, hi, good morning. Like Whitney is just so odd. And I think that probably is the one thing that really annoys Lisa about Whitney. Whitney is
Yeah.
perpetually bubbly, like just bubbly,
Mm-hmm.
fun, energetic, always just, I'm going to find the silver lining. My
Mm-hmm.
dad's a drug addict. It's okay. He's getting help and I'm going to help him.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think Lisa very much is not that girl. Lisa's like, I need you out of my space. You've already pissed me off. Let me work through that. Just get out of my face.
Lisa is holding on to other things. She does not. She doesn't like Heather or Lisa. Let's just start there. She's not a fan of either. Um,
Either.
Clearly, so and they
Either.
are together as cousins or really good friends too. So I just wish in this. I mean, so wait. So they end up talking about the situation, and they both
Yes.
Meredith and Lisa. They are like a little. They like what do you call them? They're like the Green Eye Bandits of this show, in my opinion. But I like Meredith, and I actually like Lisa too. They're not just out here doing reckless things like delivering pizza
They're
and
not
stuff like
mean.
that.
Yeah, they're
They're
not
not
mean
mean.
girls.
They're not mean. And so basically, they both feel the same. They both are saying that instead of going to someone else about something, come to the source. And so I don't really know how she would have come to them because they would have easily denied it anyway, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that would have benefited the show either. That she would have went to them and asked them, because you still have Mary saying that, well, they came to me. And so with that, how do you feel about how they came at her and saying that, come to me, come to the source.
Like I get what they were saying. I can understand that. But at the same time, the news of what Mary was saying was less about, like, again, it was less about Meredith and Lisa and more about Jen's relationship with people. So
Yeah.
even if she had gone and said, oh, well, Mary is saying you're scared of Jen, that has nothing really to do with them. It's Jen's behavior that is causing people to have this reaction around her. So I think that was the news, and of course the delivery got completely lost in the
Correct.
alcohol.
Completely jammed.
Um, and what I really think, what really fucked it up was Jen's reaction to it, over the top, screaming, cussing,
Throwing
pointing at
glasses.
people, and at that point, that's when Lisa got involved and was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And at that point, Jen's already up here. So of course, Lisa is like, "Well, why are you, talking shit? Why are you doing A, B, C, or D?" And then it probably didn't help that immediately after that, Whitney went to Meredith and was like, "And also, Jen is saying that you're fucking around on your husband." So Meredith's probably like, "Sis, this is a
Well,
lot while you're drunk."
that's what really triggered Jen. Anyway, I feel like because Meredith was like, you know what, I'm about to go, and then Jen was like, wait,
Yeah,
what? What the fuck is going on? So I think there is some truth in Heather's statement that she does want to be completely accepted by Lisa and Meredith versus Heather and
yeah,
Whitney. Because I mean, there's nothing wrong with Heather, but Heather, and then like, I'm not downplaying what Heather is doing, if anything, or whatever, but Heather is, I think she's a real friend to Jen. She really loves Jen.
absolutely.
I can't say that for Lisa and Mira. They may look at Jen as a fun time girl, and so, but I think Jen does want more of that type of relationship. Just like how we sometimes we're talking to two different guys and we pick the one that we know ain't really good for us for whatever reason, when there's the other one
Hmm.
over here that's doing all the right things and we're completely ignored by that. And I think that's why I think there's some truth based off of that statement, because Jen was completely okay until Meredith decides that she wanted to disengage or leave or whatever. She was just like, wait, what's going on? So I
Yeah,
with that statement, to go back on that episode, Jen definitely went out of the way. So that gets us to the next scene where her and Heather, they go shopping, and she take her shopping challenge. She's shopping, but she also shopping for herself. So it was a nice little gesture seeing her do things for Jen. It made me feel like, okay, she does really like Jen. But the conversation goes left again, once more when they start talking about. Oh, she said something. She said something about Whitney, right? What did she say? Just how did I forgot how it
so
went there.
she that whole thing was a setup. Jen knows, and Whitney, or excuse me, Heather even said it. Jen doesn't want friends. Jen wants hench people,
Oh, of course.
and we know Heather's personality is very demure. Heather's a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So Jen sitting there last week yelling at them in the hot tub,
Yeah.
invites Heather to go shoe shopping, get her all buttered up, and then
Yeah.
like randomly out of nowhere says, "Your cousin, blah blah blah," and just starts attacking her.
Yeah.
She knows she's not doing that with Meredith. She's already tried to do it before, and Meredith got up and said, "I'm not having this conversation." Like Meredith pays it. And that is why Jen is so hard set on trying to get in with Meredith and Lisa, because those girls really don't fuck with her too
They
much.
don't.
They see her as somebody around.
They are exactly. They have their own solidified relationship. They don't. Jen is the outsider to them. She's honestly trying to
We
be
saw Jen
accepted.
show up to Meredith's house. We saw her show up to Meredith's house, and Meredith's son said, "I don't want that woman in our house. She's embarrassing." And Meredith
Correct.
said, "Okay, she's not. I'm going to cancel all
No.
plans with her." If
And
that was your friend, you'd be like, "Well, stop, son. Like, she's a good, like, you would go to bed." But Meredith said, "Okay." So I think that really hurt Jen's feelings
yeah.
a lot. And so in that shoe thing, I think Whitney at that moment really saw how Jen views their relationship,
You mean Heather?
because she was completely disrespectful. Heather
Yeah.
sees how Jen views that friendship, because here she is yelling at her, cussing at her, saying, "I'm going to beat your cousin's ass, and you're the only reason. But you should be choosing my side because you're my friend." And Whitney's, yes, Heather. Why can't I tell them apart? Is sitting there like, why are we screaming in this upscale shoe store? Like,
Yeah.
why is it even at this level, out of nowhere? Y'all resolved this last week or 2 weeks ago.
My thing is, like, I've said that from, what was that? From the moment when she got mad at Meredith for going to church with Mary, you could already tell, and it shouldn't have taken for it to be Heather's cousin to her to realize that she wants yes man, henchman, whatever. She wants you to be like, regardless
Absolutely.
of if I'm wrong or not, you are on my side and you're on my team, and that is what it should have been. That should have been clear from episode 3, whenever they had that event. And so I don't feel bad for Heather, but I'm glad that she speaking up for Whitney, because Whitney, that is her cousin, They do have a friendship, and if Jen,
Hmm.
I stand to this a lot. If I'm friends with somebody and we're friends, y'all may be at odds. Like you disrespecting my friend is also disrespect to me because you're trying to put me in the middle. And so if you try to talk mess about my
Absolutely.
friend, I'm going to respond and be like, either stop it, and if you continue to do it, then at that point you don't have any respect for our friendship because this is also a friend of mine. Simple as that. So I'm
Because I would
glad.
do the same if the situation was reversed.
Exactly.
You'd want me to defend you if somebody was threatening to beat your ass.
And my thing is,
Like, I
these
don't think
empty
Jen
threats,
sees that.
I'm so tired of Jen and these threats. Like, she's threatened Mary. She's threatened Whitney. Like, all of this, like, girl, you're not going to bust a grape.
Nothing.
I really, I don't want anything, I'm not really for violence. But this is an example of somebody that would honestly deserve it because she is constantly threatening
She needs to
people.
get checked.
She needs to be checked, and period. So
Well, and Heather checked her.
she
Heather,
did.
and I was so proud of Heather for this. When Jen was yelling at her saying, "Your cousin shouldn't have brought it to here," and blah blah blah, and Heather said, "Did Whitney make you throw a glass?"
Oh, but she's
So
been saying
Whitney
that.
made you throw that
She's been
glass,
saying that since
and
the
she
tub.
stood there.
And so,
And
but
Jen was gagged. You saw Jen. She
she
said,
was gagged, but that was so that is a to Jen. If I put myself in Jen's body, that's a trigger. Her trigger is them saying that it's
"Oh
her fault. So
yeah,
that's in her eyes.
it
Heather
is
basically said it's your
absolutely."
fault that this happened. And so, I mean, it's
Yep.
not that's not what she's saying. She's saying that you had some part in this too. She didn't make you throw a glass. She did not ruin your husband's party. You ruined your
You
husband's
ruined it.
party. Now, I do feel like Whitney could have waited to bring that, but it's a TV show. But even
Yeah,
then, no one made her throw a glass. No one made her do all of that. That's why her husband was upset with her because he knows that
absolutely.
his wife gets drunk, and so she ruined. Jen, if you're watching this, you ruined your husband's
You
birthday
ruined.
party, and we are so sorry that it took you 25 years to throw your husband a birthday party, but you ruined that. Okay, it was not anyone else. So let's just make that very clear because she's projecting all of that on them girls, and it had nothing to do with any of them. It was her. That it could have made her upset. She could have maybe have
It
it may could have ruined her night, but she'd have to ruin everyone else's night, and that's why I think she is
absolutely.
not seeing. I'm glad Heather said that. I can't wait until next week, which we're gonna talk about, which is what we really
Mm.
here for, because I'm glad that everybody, the fact that she's in the middle seat, and everyone raises their hand in the preview, hilarious.
I
I
love
wish
it.
Mary
I
would have
love it.
came out the closet and said, "Me too."
Stop that.
um,
The thing that I like about Mary is I don't think Mary has a problem with Jen
she does.
anymore.
She
Mary
does.
knows what the issue is. She sees Jen. And I think as kooky and as fucking nuts as Mary is,
Mm-hmm.
Mary does a good job of like, I'm not going to put myself in situations where someone's going to take me out of character.
Yeah,
Her and Meredith are that same way. Good, you're hooting, you're hollering, you're doing
disengaging.
whatever. I'm going to disengage. And I think that Meredith, she's pissed after hearing what Jen is saying about her and her husband.
I need her to
But
confront
and you
her.
can tell like she
That's what
got
I'm waiting on.
angry. She's
I'm waiting
pissed.
on her to confront Jen. And I know
But it's going to be the
once
classiest confrontation.
but you know
It's
what?
going to be
I
so classy.
want
It's
when
so
that
calm.
happens, I want Lisa to get involved because Lisa loves Meredith and her husband. So seeing that scene like in the previous
Hmm.
episode where she was like crying when she found out that they were like separating, I think that at this point, Jen in the next season, it's not that they're not gonna want to film with her if she comes back. I think that they're just not gonna really see it for her, and she's gonna have a very hard reunion. I think, in my opinion,
Oh yeah.
um,
Oh, absolutely.
which which has already been
It's
filmed.
it, for women like Meredith who conducts herself like an
Hmm.
adult, when you're confiding certain details in somebody that you think is a friend,
Yeah,
you can tell that she was genuinely hurt when she heard that. Like you saw it on her face.
yeah,
How is my friend who got upset with me for going to church with somebody else,
yeah,
but now is spreading some very intimate details about my marriage to somebody that I know, but I'm just getting to know. So
yeah.
what else are you going to say? And I think that she will still probably film with her and still be that. But in
Yeah.
Meredith and Lisa's mind, particularly, if I think if Lisa finds that it's true, Lisa's going to keep her at an arm's length because
Well,
that's like, all
they're
right,
gonna roll
cool.
the
Well, then
cameras back.
we're
I
not
mean,
gonna.
they're gonna roll the cameras
Yep.
back,
Yeah,
and
it's on screen.
it's on
It's on
screen.
camera.
It was told to Heather. So my thing is, they can't be mad at Whitney. Whitney is proving to be the realest on this show right now. She's honestly like, she. I don't think at this moment she's not hiding anything. Now it may not have been at the best time to say this and do this, but it's what everyone is saying and being done, and she's finding out is being brought out, and so that's why I
Yeah,
value her, and that's why I think that she will definitely, she's the doll, like you said, she is the doll of this
she's the
cast.
doll.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to the finale and then the reunion. I think these women have all they've actually got a very good cast
They do,
for their first season.
they do,
Like these women, and the fact that they all have actual relationships,
yeah,
they're vibing off of each other very well. As much as I don't see it for Jen, as much as she gives me a headache, she has been the catalyst for a lot of different things. But
mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that she's the breakout because each one of these women is handling her
Oh yeah,
lunacy
she's not the breakout, and she may
in
be
their own
loud.
ways.
Like people say all the time, like, "Oh, Jen is good TV." You know, good TV is not always being loud and abrasive and unruly. Like I don't, I like we love TV moments, but I cannot say that every time she lashes out, I enjoy. I'm never like it's almost like really girl, because
It's cringeworthy.
it's the same type of reaction. You're throwing things, you're doing all this, you're saying you're gonna choke somebody, and so it's just repetitive. Like who
Yeah.
is Jen? All we don't even know who Jen is in this moment.
Look, Teresa knows when to turn it on and when to turn it off. She will flip a table and
Yeah,
choke a bitch, but she'll do it sparingly.
yeah,
Like you can't give us one note every single episode and not give us a chance to like do anything else. It's very obviously with that conversation Jen had with her
mm-hmm.
husband about you're never here, I need you here. It's very, very apparent in how she reacts with her friends that she's looking for attention
Yeah.
in places that she's not getting it. And so she's drinking heavily, she's lashing out. I don't doubt that her husband probably let her sign up for the show as a way to placate her, to keep her occupied, but baby, she's going through some things behind the scenes and it's coming out on camera. And it's
It's I don't think
ooh.
it's not it's right. I don't like it too much, but if she comes
it's
back,
it's
then
it's
sure.
funny at the first time, but after a while you're just like, oh
It's the
sweetheart.
same pattern. It's the exact same thing. Like we're watching the
Oof.
same scene. If we just take the first scene and add it to every other argument, it's the same scene. There's no type of like
Change your
literally
outfit and it's the same thing.
change the outfit, same reaction, same glass being thrown, same cuss words, same I'm gonna choke you, bitch, or drown you, bitch. It's the same. And honestly, I'm not really here for it. But if she comes back, then I can honestly say she's not the queen bee that she wanted to be by her tagline. I
Mm-mm.
don't think there's a queen on this show. I think they all are just like on Potomac. They all are a evenly dispersed cast, and they all evenly
Yeah.
make a queen cast. But she's definitely not the queen. If I would pick a queen, it would be Whitney, because she is really center snowflake material at this moment, in my opinion. She's earned that spot, and she's the youngest, and she has like the most untraditional relationship. So, kudos to
Yeah.
Whitney and Heather
Absolutely.
and Lisa
And
and
Heather.
Meredith.
I actually really
Everybody but
enjoy all
Jen.
of them. This is a good cast.
It is. And like you said, I think we talked about Mary a little bit. Mary is, I believe that I remember like after episode 7, they said that she wasn't going to be filming anymore with the cast. I don't know if it's because of Jen. I'm not really sure, but I think you've said a couple times that you don't think that she's going to return. Honestly, based off
Yeah.
of this, because she was barely on this season. You know, they filmed a little bit early with her in
Yeah.
the first half, but apparently they switched production companies with this show, so they had like they filmed this show for almost a year
When they
last
came
year.
back for reshoots. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think for reshoots is when they add her in, but I feel like the reason why she's not in these scenes is because this was the other production company or something. I don't know. I really
Mm-hmm.
can't. I think the timeline is off, but I think she just didn't film with the girls. And I think that this is when she was just supposed to be a friend of the show. I don't know, But
Yeah.
I hope Mary does come back, and I hope she's more present because I think we would still like her. I still like her, but I'm kind of like she's fading for me because we don't see her enough with the girls. Like she's
Yeah.
obviously this whole storyline is because of her. She told Whitney this tea, but she's not there to defend herself. So hopefully at the reunion, which I will say they all look kind of a mess, that she's able to clear. she,
Oh, I can't wait to talk about these looks from the reunion.
we're gonna talk about that thing because I did not. Maybe they'll look better on the camera because I feel like they, we like with Potomac, we was like ooh, 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 but on camera they were better. So
We
maybe
still were.
we'll.
We still were. We still were.
Well, on that note, is there anything else that you want to add about this episode before we lean out?
No, I think there's going to be so much to talk about on Wednesday
I can't
after
wait.
this little come
We're
to
gonna we're
Jesus.
gonna
I can't
film
wait.
this right when they go off, child, so it can be fresh on my mind, so we can get into
I
this.
can't
Because
wait.
I'm excited to see what happens more. I think this Heather and Jen. Heather about to let Jen have it. I think she is. I think she gonna.
I,
Now she ain't gonna threaten to hit Heather now. Even though we know Heather ain't gonna do nothing, she likes to hide, child, when things go left. But I don't like nobody that be hiding. But hey, at this point, she's basically said, "You're not gonna hurt my cousin," and that it says enough
yep.
to me. So
Well, the thing, okay, so Heather can hide all she wants because Heather doesn't start mess.
yeah,
So it's not like she's starting shit and
but
then
she
doesn't want
gets
to fight. Heather's
involved.
genuinely just like, I'm just.
So no, but my
She
thing is
does.
with
She
that,
speaks her
she
mind
she
as
not
much as
not
she
even just
can.
that. She like situation with Whitney and Jen. She leaned in. Like to Whitney said like you got involved, and I feel like you just make the more people get in when there's an argument or some type of like misunderstanding going on. When there's people surrounding, getting closer, it escalates. Versus if it was a one-on-one
Yeah.
conversation. Now they're on a show, so I get it, but I
Yeah.
do feel like Heather being there and trying to add her input, it kind of messed things up, because now you got two
Well,
people.
baby, Whitney could barely talk.
She could, you're right, and maybe Jen would have probably been like, "Girl, you drunk." We'll talk about this later, but with Heather being there and like trying to speak for Whitney when she's drunk, it was just too much, in my opinion. Like
I'm interested to see on the reunion because I think when they're sober, they're going to have each other's backs on some stuff and they're going to back each other up, which I'm looking forward to.
yeah,
Because you saw a little bit of that, but the liquor, that was just a horrible fight. That was a horrible situation where liquor, nobody could say what they wanted to say. But
right.
I really think that at this reunion, they have a good enough relationship where they will back each other up with some stuff. And that's why I like both of them. I enjoy both. And Meredith and Lisa. They've got each other's backs.
They
So
do. I like
we'll
them.
see. And then there's Jen by herself.
Hey, that's what happens when you queen bee. Queen bee by yourself.
Be by yourself.
Right.
All
Well,
right, baby.
if nothing else, we are about to lean out. As you can see, Jamie's Instagram name is here, but you can let them know where they can find you on other social media platforms too, like the Twitter, the
On
Facebook.
Twitter, it is chulito_hotito, and that is really the only one that I'm using, Instagram and Twitter. And then I have Facebook, but that's just for a select number of people.
Okay.
I really don't even be using Facebook anymore because I follow all of you guys on Twitter anyway, and
Child, you be on Facebook. I
that's the
see
main
you
one
all
I
the
enjoy
time.
using.
James Mama
I,
said this. I be like, child, please don't believe that, y'all.
that's a lie. A lie. You tag me in so much stuff in the
I do.
mess, and then now all of a sudden I'm the bad guy.
I tag y'all and then I lean out and let y'all do what y'all gonna do because I be having things to do. I'm like Heather,
See, you're Heather.
very
You're
much
Heather.
so.
You're Heather.
Well, if nothing else, we are about to lean out. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, all things lean. This video and other videos as well, and we gonna see y'all on Thursday or Wednesday. We're doing it on Wednesday, but
Yes.
it'll be uploaded probably
I'll see
Thursday.
you on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you Wednesday, but y'all gonna see us on Thursday. So, y'all have a good day. Bye.